Well folks, it's 2025, so 1st of January, Happy New Year. And we're going to start off with this customer's Fidelity 2000. So sets don't get much better than this. I'm expecting much. So I've got to write 1st of January 2025, first time I've had to write that down. Fidelity CB2000 and the serial number is 1119148. So it's the better version of the Cybernet134 chassis, it's the posher one, and it has the bigger speaker like you get in the Binatone 5-star and the Harrier CBX. So these often get overlooked because they say Fidelity on the front, but yeah, it's a fantastic set. So now I've said all that, I hope it doesn't turn out to be a dreary one. Now it's supposed to be a fully working set, but he thinks the meter is a bit wild, bangs across to the end peg. So of course whether it does for us into the dummy load is another question. So that's what we're going to be here to check. He's supplied a power lead with it, which is great, and I will of course check that just in case. As usual, we're going to operate it on our standard replacement mic. He sent a mic in with it. I didn't say I could find our standard replacement mic. Well, I'll go looking for our standard replacement mic. In the meantime, we'll plug in extension speaker. The speaker we have mounted on the wall, which we use for the on-the-air tests, SW711. It's the PA socket. Power it up, 13.8 volts, and we're lit up. And it's on the useless channel of 19. Is everything going off on this bench? The last set did. Yeah, this crocodile clip's come off this time. Okay. So we'll have it on high tone. Squelch to minimum, that to up, that to full. And I'll go looking for our test mic. Okay, so having taken the lids off, the only thing a bit bizarre is deviation, and on this test set, Wallow, 1212, oh, I'm on the wrong channel. Wallow, it's reading 0.5, but it's kind of coming through the speaker, it's a bit bonkers. We'll put that onto the other test set in a bit. So I've put 0.5 down, we're on frequency. What we're just going to do is the VCO. So where's my meter? Hello meter, where are you? Oh, you're up there. So using one of Mr. Chippie's crocodile clip leads, we're on channel 40. We're looking for 4 volts on receive and 4 volts on transmit at resistor 4. So there's resistor 4. It's the far side, so it's that side there, not the one nearest me, but the far side. Hello. There we go. So, well, that's not right, is it? We've got 5.15. So on transmit it should be 4. It's 3.85. But on receive it's 5.15, which isn't good enough. So make a note of that. So it's 3.85 RX and TX and 5.15 RX. So I'm hoping if we just adjust, that's a good way of putting it, receive, I'm hoping transmit will get a bit nearer. I don't want to fiddle with transmit if I don't have to, because these trimmers, now they're 40 years old, can play up when they're moved. They're fine while they're not disturbed. I'm not trying to generate repairs. So 5.15, so VCO receive coil. It's a broken one. So there's nothing I can now do further except change that coil. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Alright, well, I'll move it over to Mr. Chippie's bench. There's a bit more room. It's not cluttered with as much as my tat. Oh dear. I thought we were going to have another 35-minute job here, we're not. Yeah, the danger is if you let this go, you put this in the vehicle and then you find that in winter it doesn't work above channel 37 and in summer it doesn't work lower than channel 4 or something like that, so it's got to be right. Good, well, there's no silliness on that side either, so I'll get that unsoldered and replaced. Right, so having unsoldered this coil from the radio, I'm going to see whether we can extract the core rather than have to just replace the core, the whole thing. So usually I can get these out of the bottom, especially if the wedge of broken material is removed, and of course you can do that by tapping it on a harder surface than that. So see whether we can extract it out of the bottom. Maybe possible, just to turn it around and put it in the other way. It's perfect that way, unbroken that way. And remember, the bit that's the reason you can't move it when they're broken, apart from the tool's not going to get in the thing, is the wedge of broken material. So now we've removed that wedge of broken material, which is just there. Should be able to put it in the other way around. Well, that's moving fine. So put it back in the radio and we'll take it from there. Okay, back with the radio. So there's that coil. I've cleaned it up with isopropyl alcohol. Well, we don't need to plug the PA speaker back in. We've already tested that. Never know which socket's which, and they're not always easy to see what it's stamped. Okay. Oh, I never put that earth strap back on. Right. So of course now it'll be miles out. It's out of lock now. There we go, 4.1 will do me, and in transmit. .93, so I'll have to adjust that. .97 will do me for receive. 3.74 on transmit. Let's get a bit closer. I think we'll run that round a few times. That's not going to be reliable, so we'll change that. Okay, we're back again. So that's what's come out. And when I took it out, it's got wax in it, which shouldn't go in the capacitor at all. It's very naughty of them to have got wax there. Right. Once again, we'll connect it back up. Perhaps it'll be plain sailing now. This is typical, a set that's so good condition and works so well, actually has issues. Okay, so hopefully this is a bit smoother at 5.16. Even the ceramic tool affects these. Okay, 4.02 and on receive 4.05. So now we'll check it on channel 1. It should be 1.8 to 2.3, something like that. So transmit, yeah. Receive, yeah. Okay. So that should be as stable as it goes, because as it was as stable as a bag of worms. Okay, right, we'll do the transmitter. Let's go over to the appropriate camera. So centre of the peak. Are we on channel 20? Yes we are. Let's turn the volume down. That's that one. Centre of the peak. The next one. Centre of the peak for the third one. These have both so far been spot on. Yeah, that's correct. So it must be the mishmash must be in the way the PA's done. So temporarily we put it to the maximum power it will do. It's just part of the test setup procedure, as I've said before. Never ever leave it at full whack. Legality aside, this is solely to get a balance. You end up killing this set. It's actually doing 4.8 watts. So now we take the yellow one to 4.4 watts. So we're detuning it to 4.4. Then the manufacturer says drop the green one until we hit 3.8. Well, we're allowed 4, so we'll drop it to 4. They have to get these sets through customs. So if you had a set which was batch tested at customs and it was doing 4.01 watts, the whole batch would be rejected. So they always have to be on the side of caution. So 4 watts it is. So let's see if it is on the other channels. So channel 1 is 4 watts. Channel 40 is 4 watts. Don't often get them like that. You're usually going to have some slight difference. So what's our current consumption now? 1.12. Okay, and on low power, find that switch again. It's somewhere down there. Oh, it's there. Because I'm upside down. It's now 600 milliwatts. A bit dirty. Sometimes these have a cracked track and need replacing. Oh, 400 milliwatts. Back to full. Let's do the frequency. I mean, where it was before is still spot on. I just will trim it. I like to have them just slightly high, so it's 2779127. 2779127 instead of 0.25. So I've gone and put those in the wrong column, haven't I? Like a twit. So it was 4.03 plus 4.03. Amazingly, they were both the same. So that should be in that box there. We had 0.5, which was ridiculous. So I will look at it on the other test set in a moment. Now this meter is banging across, as the customer says. So let's stop it banging across and read 4 on the dummy load. Of course, it may still bang across on his aerial, but at least it's now correct on the dummy load. So deviation, I think we'll look at that next. Well, this preset, we want it to be in the center position. The European version of this, that already is in the center position, actually has a fixed resistor. Yeah. I'll just do another reading on this test set before we move over to the one. Wow, it's saying it's 2.3, which it probably is, so that would be right. Let's go over to the test set and see what it says. Wow, spot on. So the peak on the Marconi test set said 2.3, the peak on this test set says 2.5, so I'm happy it's in the correct position. Good, that's that. So so it was actually 2.3, and it's 2.2 to 2.5 on this test set, so it's fine. That's now corrected. Remove broken core from VCO RX coil and refit. Make these notes so I don't charge them £1 for a second-hand one. Replace VCO TX trimmer. Right, receive. We'll check we're still on frequency. We are. I'll put the oscilloscope on. First thing we'll do is the detector, so 100 microvolts on the test sets. Receive signal generator. Sufficient volume for a sensible trace. This oscilloscope's just across the speaker. Audio oscilloscope. It turns out it's 10 megs, but it could be 1 meg, it doesn't matter. That was already spot on. Checking that RF gain's at full. Let's go over to the SINAD meter and drop the attenuator. So we've got that 0.4. See whether any improvement can be had. I suspect another broken core there. Let's put a bit more signal onto this one. They're all spot on. It's this one here which concerns me. What I'm trying to do is to... Oh, we've got another lock point there. I'm trying to get it out. I'm going to put it in the other way around. I think it's got a little bit of damage in the top. Drop this attenuator. Got a definite peak there. Recheck it with that one. Just drop the attenuator again. I'm satisfied that's spot on. See whether we've got an improvement for that effort. .21. 10 dB. Usual thing on this test set. I'm between ranges, so I can't read under 0.2. 0.44. This might have affected squelch. Squelch to full. 3. Let's put the attenuator up on the screen. 3, 10, 30. It's coming in too early now. That's it. That's 100 when it's coming in, which is where we want. Right, turn the squelch to minimum. Signal generator, put the threshold in. Signal generator on. 0.75. Just about, call it 0.76. S meter. Was it right? No, it wasn't quite right. So it's now being too generous. It was a bit lazy before, do you remember? There we go. Of course I won't be able to get the lids on the right way, will I? Well, I think that was worth the effort. It was already really good. We've got those 2 potential unreliable things rid of with the receiving of transmit VCO. Being able to balance up the transmitter. And we've got a bit more out of receive, which was already really good. Is it that way? No, it's that way. Yeah, set to be proud of this. You know, get in the comments, oh, I used to have one of those, and I used to have one of those others, and I used to... And you think, well, they've already had the best set you can get, so is the grass greener on the other side? Oh, I had one of those, it was crap. Well, there was something wrong with it then, wasn't there? I once owned a Mercedes car for 4 hours and I rejected it as unmerchantable quality. I'm going back to 1984. I replaced it with a Datsun that I kept for 17 years. Yes, when you order a car with air conditioning, it comes with a thermostatic heater and no refrigeration system. Well, that's a good reason for unmerchantable quality, especially when it's the main dealer. Right, I'm going to check the fuse holder. With the fiberglass brush. Check it hasn't got a 30 amp car fuse in it. Needs to be around 2 to 3 amps. Can't see diddly squat. I've left the blue trimming tool out of the kit. That needs to go back immediately. Where on earth did I put the other glasses? Oh, they're there. Two amps, fine, yep. We'll swap the test set for the aerial. Check that's tight in there. And we're back to making sure that the leaves of the spring inside there are not sprained from 40 years of use. Or Mr. Chippie will get to scratchy corner and go, that's not right. One Anna Roger. And you'll see one Anna Roger that it's not banging across. Good. Making sure that's up, that's up. I was talking to Mark G7NDJ on the phone this morning, and he says it was really cold at Nottingham and very windy, so there we go, nobody on as usual. Good. So thank you for watching a rather splendid Fidelity CB2000 from 1981. Somebody's in a drunken stupor. Oh, well, there you go.